harder. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody like me. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me.
I'm Teofimo Lopez, 11-0, 9 KOs. The best to do it right now in the game is to take over. Shout out to BN Boxing News.
Hey, Lewis Virginia, I've been Westway champ of the world. Everybody go follow BN Boxing News.
What's going on? What's going on? Nick will be in Boxing News in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, I gotta say like this here. This past last night, although we was up late watching boxing, that was some hellified boxing last night. Pretty much all the fights, all the people I wanted to win won except one of them. I felt like he was cheated. We'll talk about that. But outside of that, I think that it was a great night of boxing. Hell of a card put on by Gervanta Tank Davis Promotions. Hell of a card. That was his first card without Mayweather Promotions. All right, so he did his damn thing. I liked it. The only one of the problems I saw in there was Lamar Peterson. That shouldn't have been on there. Leave Lamar Peterson where he's at. Retired. Okay, leave Lamar Peterson retired, bro. Lamar Peterson, he done his thing in the ring, and I mean, as far as we're concerned, he's done. He's done. They don't have to keep on trying to revive his career. If the young man need money, that's a different story. But I don't want to see nobody flatlining him in the ring, though. You know what I'm saying? So, well, we can start off talking about Speedy Rashidi Ellis versus Villa, man. I hate to use the word robbery, but in this case, I got to say robbery because I think that Speedy Ellis done enough to get the W and at least a draw. It's kind of unfair for someone to go through an entire fight, winning the fight, and because of 2 knockdowns in the last round, giving the fight to his opponent. I don't think that was cool. I think that salute to you, Money Brown TV, my dude. Salute to you, my brother. You know, I don't think that shit was cool at all for them to give it to Villa, man. I think that Speedy Rashidi did enough to win. Now I guess he'll never get his chance to fight any one of the other contenders because they may want him to build himself back up to contentions. But it is what it is. I think first order, anyways, him revenging that loss and going out there and beating that opponent in a spectacular fashion. Like just going back out there and knocking his ass out this time. Fuck all that playing. Going in there and just annihilating him within 4 or 5 rounds. But like I said, that, you know, as far as that fight went, I think that he did enough to win that particular fight. I gave him at least 10 rounds, man. At least 10 rounds. Even with freaking 4 knockdowns, it should at least been a freaking draw. If it was 4, I'm just throwing out a number. I know it was only 2 knockdowns in the 12th round, but I'm saying even if the guy would have had 4 knockdowns, you know, shit, Speedy would have still been within contentions to getting a draw or a win. So I don't like the way how that shit ended up. I felt like that shit was not cool. But nevertheless, he didn't get the W. All right, he got his first loss, but you know, sometimes that make you come back bigger and better. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's gonna come back. He's gonna do what he got to do. He's gonna avenge that loss first. Avenge that loss versus your opponent, and then once you do that, you can call out all the big names again. You know, starting with Jaron Boots Ennis. So, with that being said, hell of a segue. Jaron Boots Ennis. We seen him in a fight last night, and we saw him in a fashion that we have never seen him before. And I've heard several people say he kind of got exposed. We saw where he was chasing after a moving target, and he didn't know how to cut off the ring well. He didn't know how to handle somebody with good footwork, you know, and we saw whereas that could be trouble for him. That's something that he's going to have to learn to deal with now before he go ahead and fight any of the big dog. What's popping with you like now? Nell said, hell of a card and good fights, Nick. What's good, my brother? Oh, man, I'm just chilling, man. I just had to come on here for a few minutes and say a little something, man. I couldn't just let the weekend go away without saying something about these particular fights because I got to salute great fights. That's just how I got to do it, man. And like I said, Jaron Boots Ennis, I'll say this about Jaron Boots Ennis. He didn't know how to cut off the ring. He didn't display it anyway. He was being a headhunter last night. See, that's why I don't like fighters to predict. When you start predicting fights, saying what you're gonna do, and now you in a fight trying to chase a man, trying to show everybody that you're gonna knock him out like you said, which made you look kind of crazy because you were just swinging wild, swinging to the fences and missing, and like just headhunting all night. Didn't know how to cut off the ring once again, like I said, and it was just your defense. Like, I think he got hit a lot. If this dude had any type of power, it could have been some trouble in there for him. Luckily, dude didn't have no power, so, you know, he was able to absorb those hits and move on. But I didn't like to see him in a fight like that, man. I didn't like how that shit was going at all. You know, I felt like, let's just call your boy Karen. You know, let's just say Karen, if Karen had a bit of power, any type of power, Boots would have been in for a long fucking night, bro. That's on some real shit. But due to Karen not having no power, Boots was able to get away with not knowing how to cut off the ring. And I'm not gonna say he ran. I mean, some of that shit looked like running, bro, but all he was doing was using his legs, bro, pivoting. Just moving around. I mean, he didn't want to stay stationary. Why stay stationary for a man that you know that's gonna knock you out? A man with a lot of power. Believe it or not, you know, if anybody fight anybody with power, like if Hector Garcia would have fought Tank like that, he could have probably got the W. Believe it or not. But we'll get to that when we get to that. You know what I'm saying? So you cannot just stay stationary for somebody that you know got power. You just can't do that shit. All right. So that's just the way how you're supposed to fight somebody who has a lot of power. You're supposed to, you know, use angles, move around them. I mean, he was going left, he was going right, he was going all over the place. And Jaron Boots Ennis was just chasing him, swinging to the fences, missing. I mean, getting hit for the most part. I mean, he took a lot of. I would say he took more punishment than I've seen him taking in a while. Okay. I think there's a lot to be fixed prior to stepping in the ring with one of those real bulls, like a Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence. Because I think that those dudes right there, they're gonna stand with you, bro. If your defense lacked like it was lacking last night, and you can't dodge any of those shots like you wasn't trying to dodge it last night, it won't be good for you. It wouldn't have been good for him. So, all in all, I think that he, by landslide, beat the guy. Don't get it twisted. He beat Karen every round. I ain't give Karen no round. I just, like I said, I'm so used to seeing Jaron Boots Ennis go in there and annihilate his opponent in a spectacular fashion. And last night, when he went in there getting touched up and not being able to cut off the ring, I was kind of upset to see him not being able to do something like that. Like, just cut the fucking ring off and do what you got to do. Attack your opponent, bro. You know, that was my whole deal. But, you know, like I said, he got the W. He did what he was supposed to do. Off to the next one. But I can guarantee you, Karen, even though he lost last night, you know, because Karen won 21 straight fights. So last night was the first time he lost in 21 fights. Because I think he lost his debut fight, and then he won 21 straight fights. So what happened last night, man, could also be considered a moral victory, bro, because he went 12 rounds with Jaron Boots Ennis. He was landing on Jaron Boots Ennis. And, I mean, all those angles and all that moving around, I mean, with the right opponent, bro, he could probably get that W. Don't get it twisted now. You know, the right opponent, I think he can get that W. So, great fight by him, bro. You know, we got to take our hat, because he took some punishment now. He took some punishment and had a hell of a chin. So in boxing, you don't only give it, you got to be able to take it. And as it seemed, he was able to take it. So that was good on his part. That was spectacular on his part. You know, but I just think that Boots Ennis needs to focus on his defense. His defense and cutting off the ring before he fight next time, man. That should be his main focus, is on the art of hitting and not getting hit, and learning how to cut off the ring. I think if he learn those two things, he get those two things under his belt, I think that it'll be an awesome situation for him. You know, that's on some real shit, though. That's on some real shit. I just want to see, like I said, I want to see him blossom, brother. I want to see him blossom. And just to see him fight in the manner how he fought yesterday, I kind of had a lot of concerns for him, because, you know, him calling out those dogs, man, and him fighting like that, it could be some shit. Lionel says, I think last night might be a blessing in disguise for Boots. Yes, I agree with you. I solely agree with you on that. I think he got caught up in the atmosphere surrounding the fight. Facts. Wanting to get the knockout and not respecting his opponent. I agree. Totally agree with you on that. Because I think that he looked kind of sloppy last night. I don't like when opponents, bro, not one, not two. It was numerous times. He swung, and he swung so hard that he turned all the way around to where his back was facing his opponent. The right person would have bum rushed him, would have got him. Your back should never be facing your opponents, bro. Should never. And on several occasions, he swung so hard and missed, his back was facing his opponent. Nobody said that. I'm sure everybody saw that. Right? I'm sure everybody saw that. And like I said, I know Karen didn't swing as much, but when Karen was swinging, he had Boots so aggravated and so upset that he couldn't land or couldn't catch him. That's how that's how boxers sometimes get caught up in their bullshit, and that's it. All right, I'm back, man. I had a phone call. Motherfuckers always want to call me when I'm live. Y'all can hear me? You can hear me. Say something in the chat. Motherfucker keep calling my phone. I might have to find a way to get another phone or something. I'm doing this shit on my phone, man. I ain't want to be stationary at no fucking laptop or desktop. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me? If you hear me, let me know you can hear me, man. If my music too loud, let me know that too. Motherfucker keep calling my phone, man. I keep on sending them straight to voicemail. Shit. Motherfucker don't never want to talk to me until I go live. All right, thank you, my brother. But I say this to say, that's the type of shit I saw on Boots Ennis last night. It was kind of concerning. It was kind of alarming because Boots was swinging for the fence, being a headhunter. He should have boxed, dude. Not if he was we all know he wasn't trying to get 12 rounds. He needed rounds in. He needed to get some rounds in. We all know that. But in the fashion that he ended up getting them in, was, dude, you couldn't catch that man. You couldn't catch that man. And and like you said, Lionel, and I agree with you, it's good things happen in the fashion in which it happened. Because just like Rashidi Ellis, he hadn't fought since 2020. And when he fought in 2020, he only had he didn't get that much time in then. And he fights now, and he looked like he looked, and he fought like he fought. So all that, you got to get that time in the ring. You got to get that time in the ring. You got to go rounds in the ring. Because it could come back and bite you in the ass. But now to the main event, man. Oh, man. Now to the main event. Hector Garcia. Hector Garcia is a good guy, man. I met him before, man. I think he's a cool cat. I got nothing against him. Although I was going for, who I was going for? Tank Davis. I definitely did salute Hector. Hector, in case any of y'all know, Hector Garcia went up in weight to fight Tank. Hector Garcia normally fight at 130. He beat Chris Colbert at 130. All right. So this man took a hell of a challenge and he stepped up to the game. He stepped up to the fight, stepped up to the challenge. So we all got to take our hats off to him. And I'll be honest with you, last night he looked good, man. Last night he looked good. I felt as if he made one big mistake and it cost him the fight. You never stand toe-to-toe with a power puncher. He stood there in the pocket trying to fight a power puncher. You don't do that shit. You need to be mobile. You need to use your legs. You need to use angles. You need to just anything but stand there and go toe-to-toe, go lick for lick, go blow to blow with a fucking power puncher like Tank. I mean, I'll be honest with you. He was landing on fucking Tank. He was boxing Tank ass last night. Hector Garcia did not look bad last night. Yes, Tank ended up shutting him down and making him quit on his stool in the 8th round. I give that to Tank. But that motherfucker boy was putting them hands on fucking Tank. You know, Tank got that fighting at home shit, that Baltimore, DC, and all that. That shit, I understand you sell out there. But sometimes just being at home ain't always the best thing, bro. Because as y'all can see, we have numerous cases where it end up bad for y'all. Because for some reason, you're around family, you partying, you just doing shit that's in a certain fashion that you would normally do. You know, and like I said, last night it ended up good for Tank. But I can see in the future that, you know, this shit could end up bad for him. And his celebration, his choice of celebrating how he do a backflip off the fucking ring, he better stop that shit. He can have a career-ending injury if he land wrong. I saw last night when he did that shit, his legs hit a rope or something, a wire or something in the air. Come on, man. You're a prize fighter. We don't need you to get injured like that. But it was a hell of a fight by Tank. Tank kept on coming, kept on pressuring. But again, he was fucking missing. He was getting hit. He was just, he got to tighten up his defense. His defense looked real fucking sloppy last night. And the always head hunting. What happens when somebody could take that fucking punch? What are you going to do? What is going to happen when you finally find somebody who got a big fucking head like you and could absorb the punishment? You know, that's the kind of shit you got to always take in consideration. Yeah, you got a hell of a punch. But when you find somebody that could take a punch and give a punch, what are you going to do? You know, so that's the kind of shit that Tank and his team got to start figuring out. Tank got to start boxing more, bro. Tank is always just looking for that one annihilator punch. And that shit right there is getting old. And everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. Like Lionel just said, Garcia looked good. He had the reach advantage. Why didn't his team tell him to box on the outside and try to steal the fight? Fighting toe-to-toe in the pocket with Tank was his demise. I just said that. Initially, that's how he started off the fight. His first few rounds was on the outside using his reach and height. And he actually said he was going to use his reach and height. That's what him and his team, his game plan. But as we all know in sports, we always start off with the game plan. And then as the fight happens, the fight go on, we get comfortable. And then we start making these horrible adjustments that could come back and bite us in the ass, which it did. You know, he started trying to get real comfortable fighting a guy at Tank's caliber, which came back to bite him, bro. You cannot go toe-to-toe with a fucking power puncher like Tank. That was his damn demise. You correct. That was his demise, bro. You sat there and tried to go toe-to-toe with Tank? The entire time when the fight was going on, you know, because, like I said, I had a bet on that particular fight. Somebody called me, and they wanted to bet against Tank. So I took Tank. He took Garcia. And the whole while he's watching this shit, he's talking shit. And like I told him, I said, bro, Tank is going to get him. Tank is going to look like that, just like he did with Leo Santa Cruz. And all Tank got to do is land that right punch. And not too long after I said that, started seeing Tank work the body, chopping them down. The bottom, going to the top. Bottom, going to the top. And boom. I forgot what round that was. Either it was a 6th or 7th round where the bell saved Garcia. The bell saved the Garcia. It could have been the 6th round or 7th round, one of those two. And I say, see, the fight would have been over then. And Hector Garcia should have realized then, man, I'm not going to box this motherfucker, man. I'm going to move around. This dude here, he hurt me. But he didn't take that lesson learned. Kept on trying to stand toe-to-toe with him. What up, Bruce, Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more? Salute to you, my brother, as always. man, while I got y'all on here, I want all y'all to pray for Coach Troy Riptide Lewis, man. He's in the hospital. Pray for him, man. Pray for his full recovery. Let's pray for him, man. Y'all know him, man. He started right here on Being Boxing News with me, man. This is the platform he started on, man, with me, bro. Co-hosting my shows with me, talking that boxing shit with me. He ventured off and started going everywhere else, man, and created his own platform, Glove Up Boxing. But like I said, that is my dog in real life. He is my fraternity brother. He is my friend of 22 years. Pray for him. Pray for his recovery. Pray for his family. And like I said, we all got to start taking care of each other, taking care of ourselves, man. I'm on that health shit again, man. I'm trying again, man, especially with that shit that happened to him. That shit got me scared as a motherfucker, man. But I think he's going to have a recovery, bro. He has to recover. Praying for him. You guys pray for him, too. But back to this boxing shit. Like I was saying, man, Garcia looked good last night. He was handling his fucking business, bro. All he had to do was use that range. Use that fucking range, find to keep Tank ass away from him and making Tank earn it. Every time Tank try to come in there, make him pay. He was doing that in the beginning, but he got real comfortable. He might have felt Tank's power and probably was like, oh, I got this shit. No, you don't, buddy. No, you don't. Lionel said Tank got to stop starting so slow. If he do that shit with Ryan Garcia, he can get too far behind and lose. Garcia's strategy going to be jab from the outside with his reach and pop him with their hook coming in. I agree with you once again. You know another problem I got with Tank? He's always worried about what the fuck is happening outside the ring. Want to know what this dude that dude what's going on out there? No, whatever he got going on, his focus has to be on the fight. He has to cut that bullshit out, worrying about what's going on outside the ring, bro. That shit had me so aggravated with him last night. Lionel said, sometimes my boy Tank too cool for school, and I love Tank. Bro, he got to stop it, bro. He has to stop the madness because he fight the right caliber dude, like you said, Ryan Garcia, bro. Ryan Garcia gonna outpoint him, keep him on the outside, and if he tries to come on the inside, can make him pay. And that could be it for him. He got to, if that bullshit fight happen, because the fight might not happen, I think both of them be studying. That's their little promotion and shit. So until them boys walk into the fight, I don't believe it's gonna happen. I'm one of them. I'm gonna be real with you. Cause Ryan didn't even fight this month like he was supposed to. So well, y'all can remain optimistic. I don't think this shit's gonna happen. But Tank know what he has to do with a guy like Ryan Garcia. But he has to deliver. He has to fucking deliver. He has to protect himself. He has to focus on the fight or the fighter in front of him. Not everything around him. He has to focus, and not only depend on the fucking power punches. Box, bro. Y'all say he could box. I want to see him box. I know he got the left hook. We know that already. He's been doing it since he was 6 years old. We got all that. Box these motherfucking jokers, bro. And then, once they get comfortable, then you lay that fucking, then you send them to guard. But, like I said, it was great weekend of boxing. I enjoyed every bit of it. I think that was some good boxing to start the year off. I really enjoyed it. My only downpoured. It was just two downpours that I didn't like. I didn't like Lamar Peterson fighting. Lamar Peterson, stay retired, bro. We love you. You're a champion. Just. This is it, brother. This is it. We gotta know when to quit. You gotta know when to quit. You can't go out like Mike Tyson. Got these motherfucking flukies beating him, knocking him out and shit like that. You can't go out like that, bro. You can't go out like that, bro. You can't let these fucking flukies beat you. Just stay out of the ring. And the second one is Speedy Ellis Rashidi. I think that he won that fight. I think he edged it. And at worst, they could have gave him a draw. But they did what they had to do to him. What problem with the teach? Salute to you, my brother. Salute to you, my brother, of course. So, I mean, it was good, man. I had no problem with the fight, and I think the fight was great. You know, this whole weekend. Undercard was lit. Undercard was definitely lit. Everybody was there. And that bullshit. Let me talk about this here. Gary Russell Jr. He's at the fight talking shit about Tank Davis. Everybody's there to see Tank, bro. You can't come there doing that, Gary. I know everybody trying to blame Meek Mill, but all Meek Mill was trying to say was, this shit not gonna last 12 rounds. I was at home saying the same thing. It's not gonna last 12 rounds. Especially when you see this dude trying to stand up to Tank and go toe-to-toe with Tank. It was common sense. And Meek Mill is in the house with all his goons. One thing you don't want to do is fuck with a man when he got all his goons. A lot of them goons ain't got no money in their pocket and they trying to get famous. Shit could have ended up bad for the Russell brothers. I got a lot of love for the Russell brothers, but shit could have ended up bad for them. Gary, Shorty, stop all that, dog. Leave Tank alone. Unless you're gonna fight Tank, leave Tank the fuck alone, bro. If you're not gonna fight Tank, leave him the fuck alone. That's on some real shit. I can't stand motherfuckers just chasing somebody, but you don't really want to fight the dude. You want to fight the dude, come fight the dude. But before you fight that motherfucker, you need to go fight that boy that beat you. That boy that stole the fight from you. That's a better way of saying it. Go get that motherfucker first, and then it is what it is. He said that's the only part I did not like. The ref should have stole the rounds and let them rest. Oh, stop the round, let them rest? He did. He did stop the motherfucker. Oh, he should not. Oh, he should have not stopped the round, let them rest. Oh, that's when Tank got all the fucking power back. That's what some people are saying. Allow Tank to come back at that boy and beat that boy. Because Tank was able to rest. That's what some people are saying, bro. You might be right. That's what some people are saying. They saying that's gave Tank the edge. Tank was able to rest. And once he was able to regain his composure, you already know the end. You already know the rest. But we never know, man. I think Tank was going to end up catching him anyway because he just kept on standing in the pocket with a power puncher, bro. And it was going to happen, man. It was going to happen, bro. And it happened. It fucking happened to him, bro. But we all got to salute Hector Garcia. I think Hector Garcia did a great job. He just should have thought about what he was doing. He couldn't have thought about it. He couldn't have thought that shit out. Because ultimately, that shit was not a good plan. Lionel, oh shit. How did I forget about the Boo Boo fight? Lionel said Boo Boo looked good last night. I hope he get more active and fight the winner of Plant versus Benavidez. Bruh, he came up in weight. He looked good last night, although he hit the canvas. He's fighting bigger boys. He's very elusive. He's a great fighter, but he has to be more active. If he come to 168, not being active like he's supposed to, it's going to cost him. Ultimately cost him. He's getting older. He's not as good as he was last year or the year before. We got to always factor that in. So he has to stay active. He has to do what he have to do in the 168 division by starting to call some of these motherfuckers out. Calling them out and going at their fucking necks. He should be at that Plant Benavidez fight, calling them out. That should be, he should start talking this shit now. I'm going to be straight up with you. T said Tank was still winning, but the momentum changed. Heather could have possibly got to the next round without the eye injury because Tank was not doing much during the round before that break. Yeah, I mean, it changed momentum. I think Tank hit him so hard in the head, bro. He went dizzy. I don't know if you ever got hit so hard that he saw black. That happened to me one time in football. Went head on head with a motherfucker, bro. Helmet to helmet. And I saw black. And I think Tank punched his ass to where he saw black. He saw that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? T said overall good fight, good card. Oh yeah. I definitely agree with you. I think it was a good card, good fight. I salute Tank and his promotion. I think he should keep it up. Big challenges. I mean, he can't hide no more. He can't use Floyd Mayweather as his shield, right? Saying that Floyd don't want him to fight nobody. So now that he's a free agent, just him and Al Heyman, call out the motherfuckers and go fight who you want to fight, bro. You know, this is the year right here, bro. 23. If certain fights don't happen in 23, they never will, and we just leave it alone. Leave it alone. Like serious shit. But Tank Davis, right now, and all these guys in 135 should be positioning themselves, right? They should be positioning themselves because we all know that those belts are going to be vacant mid-year of this year. Sometime this year, those belts will be vacant because Devin Haney's going to beat Lomachenko ass, like we all know, and then he's going to freaking move up to 140. So right now, everybody at 135 should be positioning themselves to where they could be, you know, they could be up in contentions and running up for that belt. You know, that's what they should all be doing right now. I don't want to hear a damn thing. But at the end of the day, I think it was sweet. I enjoyed it. I just want to see more fights where you're not gonna know who the winner is. You know, I don't want to see any fights where I already know you're gonna beat this motherfucker. You're gonna knock this dude out. You know, I think the fights this weekend, we didn't know who was gonna do what. We didn't have no expectations on the winners or how it's gonna happen. And the fights that we kind of knew or we kind of thought, it exceeded our expectations because certain shit didn't work out that way, and it was awesome. You know, think about it, guys. The fights last night, dude. I watched boxing till 1 o'clock in the morning. Shit, if it was 1 o'clock in the morning here, it was damn near 2 o'clock wherever they was at in DC, because they're an hour ahead of us. The only people that had good timing on that shit was West Coast. You know, everybody else, man, on the Eastern time, bro, it was 2 o'clock where they was at. Up north. Up here, like I said, it was 1 o'clock up here. Because the main event didn't start till after 12, after midnight. But man, I just want to see some good boxing, man. Who else y'all think? Do y'all really think Tank and Ryan gonna fight though? I don't think Tank and Ryan really gonna fight. I think all that shit is just some bullshit that they just trying to, just trying to get some clout, like a little clout chasing. I think there's a lot of that type of shit going on, clout chasing. I don't think they're gonna really fight each other. If they do, that shit gonna be awesome. I would love to see them fight each other. I would love to see Tank and Ryan fight. And I'm gonna tell you, like you said, if they do fight, that shit's gonna end in spectacular fashion. Somebody's gonna go to sleep. Period. Somebody's gonna go to sleep. Cause both guys have power in both hands. No, I'm with you, Teach. I think they both need to fight each other. I think I'm tired of the capping, I'm tired of them talking all the bullshit, getting all us all riled up. And then when it's time to fight, some shit come up to where motherfuckers can't fight each other. That right there is on some real shit. So I definitely want to see them fight each other. I definitely want to see Ryan Garcia and Tank step up to the plate and make this fight happen. And like I say, either one of those, matter of fact though, Ryan Garcia will be fighting at a catch weight. So I don't even think it's gonna be at 135. Because I think he said he can't make 135 no more. So I can't even say he could put himself in contention for the belts that Devin's gonna release. But hey, man, at the end of the day, he still have to make that statement with Tank first. Then he can go up to 140, and then he can see what he got going on in 140. But I tell you one thing he is doing wrong. He knocking on the wrong fucking door talking shit to Regis Prograis. Regis done told you already, boy. You a fucking, what we just call that boy? A fucking IG model. Regis call that boy an IG model. Regis will body you. Like, leave that dude alone. Leave Regis alone. Let the Rougarou sleep. That's what the Rougarou do. You know anything about the Rougarou? Let him sleep. You can see the Rougarou late at night in Lafitte, Louisiana. That's how a lot of people, they just say it's like a myth. This monster is to be in Lafitte, Louisiana. That's how a lot of people wreck. They wrecked their car and died because the Rougarou jumped out in the middle of the street and they crashed and shit like that. That's look it up, man. Lafitte, Louisiana, man. Rougarou. Like now, say I think they fight for the simple fact it's too much money to be made. It will be one of the biggest fights of the year because of their fan bases. I get it. And he come back and he said, Golden Boy needs the bread. I get it. But everybody's scared of that W. That L. They're very afraid for their fighter to take an L. They feel as if they fight to take an L, that's the end of them. That's after the Mayweather era. That's the kind of shit that Mayweather instituted in boxing while he was there. If you take an L, that's a wrap for you. So, I don't know, man. We will have to wait and see. I would have to wait and see, because I just think that they talk so much shit, dog. I would have to see what happened. I would have to see if they really make that fight happen. If they do, it'll be the best thing since sliced bread, and I would definitely appreciate that shit. I would definitely appreciate it. I would love to see it. I would love to see it. Like, that's just some real talk shit. But I thank everybody for coming on tonight. And thank you, Lionel. Thank you, Teach. Thank you, Bruce Gas. Thank you, Money Brown TV. And everyone that chimed in and helped this to be very enjoyable. Because sometimes just talking to yourself on this motherfucker, man, can be very, very hard. And I thank y'all for that, man. Like I said last night, was some great fighting. Everybody got to go back to the drawing board, get their shit up, do what they got to do, and come back. I expect to see all these fighters in the next 4 or 5 months, man, back in the fucking ring. Like, serious shit. I need to see, like, Tank needs to be in the fight, need to be in the ring 2 more times this year. All these fighters need to be back in the ring, bro. You know, there's a lot of money to be made. Make it while you can. And with that being said, thank everybody for coming through and hollering at your boy. And it was definitely a pleasure. That was definitely a freaking pleasure, and I appreciate y'all, man. I'm out. Peace, and we out of here.